Today we're rolling back to a time when sharks still had self-esteem, and nature was basically freelancing for Lego. We're talking about 10 extinct creatures so bizarre even dinosaurs would have called them the weird kids. Don't skip number 4, it'll make you realize sharks used to be way scarier than you think. Alright, dust off the archives, let's open Exhibit 10. Number 10. Platybelodon. You probably think elephants are gentle, wise creatures. Yeah, well, meet Platybelodon, the cousin who thought 2 tusks weren't enough. He went with 4. Smaller than a modern elephant, about 10 feet long, weighing 2 to 3 tons, this guy had 2 normal upper tusks curving down, and 2 flattened lower tusks fused into one giant shovel, nearly 3 feet long. At first, scientists figured it was a swamp dweller using that mouth like a prehistoric backhoe to scoop up soft aquatic plants. Some old drawings even showed it without a trunk, just thick hippo lips like evolution experimenting with bad design choices. But then someone actually checked the wear marks on the tusks, and the theory fell apart. Turns out, Platybelodon wasn't scooping mud, it was chopping trees. It lived on land, grabbed branches with its trunk, and used that sharpened lower jaw like a machete to strip bark and shear leaves. Basically a self-propelled lawnmower from the Miocene, bioengineered, grass-powered, and eventually fired when modern elephants won the evolutionary contract. Number 9. Sharovipteryx. Nature's design lab has seen some bad ideas. But none beat the fly with your butt prototype. Meet Sharovipteryx, a tiny Triassic reptile that decided wings on arms were too mainstream, so it put them on its legs. Living about 225 million years ago, it looked at its body and said, you know what needs lift, the back end. And it made it work, the only known animal to ever build a flight system based entirely on hind legs. Basically flying by glutes. It was under a foot long, sleek, with ridiculously long back legs stretched into a triangle of skin that reached all the way to its tail. When it leapt from a tree, it spread its legs and turned its whole lower body into a living delta wing. It looked like a fighter jet built by someone who ran out of funding halfway through. But here's the twist, it actually flew well. Simulations show it could glide farther and smoother than some real pterosaurs. So why did it vanish? Not design failure, just bad luck. Its entire family line got wiped out in a mass extinction. When that happened, the fly with your legs blueprint went extinct too. Sharovipteryx, the perfect aircraft just born in the wrong century. Number 8. Dunkleosteus. Before sharks ruled the sea, the Devonian Ocean had its own monster truck, Dunkleosteus. It stretched about 13 feet long, some say up to 30, and weighed over 4 tons. Think of it as an underwater tank only half finished. The front half solid armor plating thick enough to protect your feelings. Even its eyeballs had bone shields. The back half soft cartilage. Like evolution ran out of budget mid-project. Modern reconstructions show it wasn't slow. It had a tuna-like body, muscular, dense, and built for sudden acceleration. But its mouth? That's where physics went to die. No teeth, just 2 bony plates sharp as razors, self-sharpening every time it bit. It could open its mouth in 1/50th of a second, creating a vacuum that sucked prey straight in, then slammed shut with 5,300 newtons of force, focusing 80,000 psi on the bite point. That's enough to punch through steel plating. It didn't just eat fish, it ate other Dunkleosteus. Some fossils show bite marks only a bigger one could make. Basically, if it moved, it was lunch. If it didn't move, still lunch. If Devonian oceans had traffic cops, they'd just look away and pretend they didn't see anything. Number 7. Arthropleura. If you hate centipedes, take a deep breath. Arthropleura was their overachieving cousin, 8 feet long, crawling through carboniferous coal forests like a freight train with legs. No venom. No fangs. Just huge. It owed its size to oxygen levels twice as high as today, turning bugs into evolutionary lottery winners. Scientists have found tracks the size of a coffee table, and that alone is nightmare fuel. Imagine hiking, hearing something rustling behind you, turning around, and seeing a centipede waist-high clattering toward you. No predators needed. The fear alone cleared the forest. If you've stuck around this long, congratulations, you're officially one of us. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell because we're just getting warmed up. Number 6. Stethacanthus. Think sharks today are scary. Meet Stethacanthus. 3 feet long, not big, but weird enough to win any ugly contest. Only the males had this thing, a dorsal fin shaped like a blacksmith's anvil and a matching patch of spikes on the top of their heads. Why? Scientists have theories. Maybe it was to impress the ladies, the prehistoric version of a muscle car. Maybe it was for intimidation from above, it looked like a giant open mouth. Or maybe, and this one's my favorite, it just used it to hitch rides on bigger animals. Whatever the reason, it's proof that even 320 million years ago, males were already doing ridiculous stuff just to get noticed. Number 5. Atopodentatus. When scientists first dug up Atopodentatus, the fossils were a mess. From those fragments they reconstructed a sea monster with a vertical zipper for a mouth. Just picture that, a marine reptile that unzips to eat. Luckily, they later found a better skull and realized the truth was somehow weirder. The real Atopodentatus had a wide hammer-shaped head, kind of like an underwater vacuum cleaner lined with tiny needle teeth it used to scrape algae off rocks. So it went from a nightmare zipper to a prehistoric Roomba. Basically, one of the first plant-eating sea reptiles. Think a hammer-headed manatee on salad duty. Number 4. Therizinosaurus. Take one look at this thing. 16 feet tall with 3-foot claws longer than a samurai sword. You'd think, okay, definitely a killer. Nope. Therizinosaurus was a vegetarian. Despite looking like a slasher movie villain, it had a potbelly, a long neck, and a tiny beaked head, all signs of a gentle plant eater. Scientists believe those enormous claws were for pulling down branches, not gutting prey. So picture the scariest guy in the bar, then learn he runs a kitten rescue and knits sweaters on weekends. Good news, he just wants salad. Bad news, he could still accidentally disembowel you while reaching for the ferns. Number 3. Tanystropheus. Imagine a 20-foot reptile. Now imagine half of that length is just neck. That's Tanystropheus. Its absurdly long neck was built from only 13 stretched-out vertebrae, basically evolution's idea of a prank. For decades, scientists were baffled. At first, they thought those hollow bones were finger bones from a flying reptile. Then came the facepalm moment. Oh, that's not a finger, that's the entire neck. Most likely it was an ambush predator lurking in shallow water, using its neck like a fishing pole to snap up fish and squid. It didn't bother learning to swim properly, it just evolved a built-in rod. Number 2. Deinocheirus. Back in 1965, paleontologists in Mongolia found a pair of arms. Not just any arms, 8 feet long with monster claws. They named it Deinocheirus, meaning terrible hand. And for 50 years that's all we had. So everyone imagined a mega predator, basically T-Rex 2.0. Then in 2014 they finally found a complete skeleton. And it looked like evolution ran out of supervision. It had a giant hump on its back, a duck-like bill, a potbelly, and it ate both plants and fish. It looked like a camel, a duck, and an ostrich got stuck in a teleportation accident. This is what happens when nature lets the intern design a dinosaur. Number 1. Opabinia. If any creature proves that the Cambrian era was just nature beta testing life, it's Opabinia. A few inches long, it had 5 eyes on stalks, a vacuum hose snout, ending in a claw and a mouth, underneath its head facing backward. When paleontologist Harry Whittington first presented it in 1975, the entire audience, full of seasoned scientists, burst out laughing. They thought it was a joke. It wasn't. Opabinia was absolutely real, a reminder that 500 million years ago the universe was throwing ideas at the wall to see what stuck. This one didn't. You've made it this far. Welcome to Beats Lore, where we unravel the strangest creatures evolution ever came up with. Next time we're adding a brand new category. What's your pick? A. Creatures frozen for tens of thousands of years that somehow came back to life. B. Predators that evolved backward. The more modern, the more flawed. C. Fossils misunderstood for an entire century before finally being proven innocent. Type A divided by B divided by C plus 1. Reason down in the comments, we'll read them all and include your choice in the next ranking. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next episode, where the bottom of time may be hiding more than just mysteries.